Oh, they're tapped. Oh my goodness.
This is a heel hook, and it's one of the most dangerous moves in submission wrestling and BJJ. And it's this fear of leg locks that keeps many people from training.
Somebody showed me a clip while I was in the gym, and I just cringed.
So today, we'll look at 3 different ways to defend this attack.
Somebody got Tony.
A mild sprain, it's not bad.
Somebody got him. The one thing I do is whenever Cousin Tony or someone, they kick under, they get this inside position on me, I realized I screwed up. You guys screwed up. That's what happened with Roosevelt versus Gordon Ryan.
Gordon Ryan pulling right under the leg.
Oh, straight for a heel hook.
Straight for a heel hook.
He got here, and then Gordon got on that heel, and then it was kind of over. He had to tap out. So if you do end up in these situations, just make sure your foot's planted on the floor. Don't try to pull your leg out, because then go ahead. Yeah. I'm keeping my heel on the floor. From here, I'm gonna deconstruct this position. So I'm gonna go attacking his top foot. I like to get like this C grip on the toes and push it off. Sometimes I might have to use my hip into the position to get out. From here, I'm just gonna try to backstep. When I backstep, I go off the toes, go cross body, and now I'm gonna go into like a knee on belly position, put all my weight onto Cousin Tony, and then I backstep, okay? I'm not going this way, I backstep. I like to set my weight on my partner. I can also start attacking this arm, or a lot of times I'll just switch from this hip to like a knee on belly. I think you guys just need to be aware. So a lot of times he might get me from like butterfly, he might pull back. So as soon as I feel that, I try to keep my heel on the floor, grab the toes, push off, go cross body, knee on belly. That's one big defense. Another defense I like, he gets the ashi, I'm here. So if he starts trying to reap, going cross my body, you know, that starts to happen. I'm gonna start pushing his legs away from me. So as I feel him pushing into me and I can't turn back in, I'm gonna go on the toes and the shin and look to push that away. And I really quickly need to slip my knee. Right, so even if he does get the heel hook grip on me, he doesn't really have any control. But if I'm here, you know, he can possibly get the finish. So I'm slipping my knee out. I can turn out, but what you're seeing the guys do nowadays, I'm gonna go off the legs. I can even post off the floor. And I'm gonna take my back leg into his hip and kind of clamp down. So when I say clamp, I'm kind of straddling his leg. From here, I can keep holding the legs. A lot of times I'll look for the hip, but my goal is gonna be to turn into him, into like a Granby roll. I'm gonna extend my legs out, look for the back, seatbelt grip. So I can't go for the first defense, so because he's pushing into me. I'm gonna push his legs and his shin off of my body. I go hands to the floor. Sometimes I might keep one of the legs, but my main goal is gonna be to get this knee into his hip. And especially for new people, try to stop here for a second and then use that to create momentum. The really good guys can just flow into it, but it's okay to take a pit stop here. I can always come back, get to the folding pass, or if you want to be fancy like me, we're gonna roll through. So I'm doing like a Granby roll, a shoulder roll across my body, control the hips, and I'm using that momentum to carry him forward. The last defense, let's see if he gets like an ashi on the ground. So sometimes from here, you know, a lot of times he might throw this under, go to reverse it, yeah. All right, that happens too. Once I'm here, most basic defense, I need to get my knee, we call this running man escape. I need to get my knee pointed away from Cousin Tony.
She wants my knee outside that line. That's when I'm in trouble. So what I have to do is take my knee inside the line.
And I want to start to hide my heel behind his back. All right, the last detail, I'm gonna point my toes, because if my leg is straight, go ahead and lock into it. He can still make a good grip on me. Make my foot straight, like a ballerina.
It's gonna be harder than here.
And then I turn my knee away from him. I might need to hand fight, but my main goal is gonna be to pummel this outside leg back in. Make a hook. When I'm ready, I'm gonna go off of his arm, onto his leg, and I just push away. I like to go into the hip, and then I'm gonna use that same Granby roll that we did earlier. Go off this thigh to the ankle. The hand that's on the shin can go on the hip, or just use it to create momentum. And we're just gonna go into a no-gi bolo. Similar situation, I'm straddling his leg, and look, I'm moving my heels, my toes across his body, and I use the momentum to take him over. I'm gonna switch my hook, seatbelt, take the back. So he's in this cross ashi hand fight, foot on the floor, point my toes, and I turn my knee. We're gonna re-pummel, the other leg in, and now I gotta make sure I clear my knee. That's the most important thing, clear your knee. I switch off the arm to his leg. I like to get my thumbs in there so I can really push, and I just kind of shrug it off. So the outside hand goes to the ankle, inside hand can go to the hip. A lot of times I might even look for that far side hip. You see how he has the back exposure over here? So I'm looking for this far side hip. I use that foot that was on the floor. I use that to help me push him over. From here, I do the Granby position, the Granby move, and make sure you take your head over to the other side. With my grip on his hip, that really helps me stay tight to him. I'm clamping my legs across his body, and I use the momentum to help me take him over. Switch your hook, and take the back. All right, so that's 3 different ways to get out of the heel hook, leg locks. If you guys don't do this, you're gonna look like Cousin Tony. Show him your... Nah, it's not from that. Cousin Tony can get out of all this stuff. And most importantly, tap out, man. If you feel like you're in danger, just tap out. I've seen too many guys get messed up over the years.
Something like this could completely obliterate and dislocate your knee. I mean, this is potential for a major, like life-altering injury.
All right, that's good. Hey, Cousin Tony. Placido. Placido Tony.